February 20th, workout breakdown, full body day. Don't do many full body days. Sometimes I think people don't fully understand what full body day even means, no pun intended there. But it's always been a kind of stopgap for me in terms of planning and writing, whether it's be baselines we got to fit in there, or if we're lacking a particular movement or modality, maybe a modality just hasn't hit in like 10 or 11 days, it's an opportunity to kind of throw it in supplementary. But it's also just a really good day to plug in things that I think are incredibly important from a physical standpoint, but don't really get the sunlight or the recognition they deserve because they don't fit into the main muscle groups very well. So when you guys see full body days, I think a lot of people, I feel like I've heard people just kind of think cardio. That is definitely not true. I do not approach full body days like cardio days at all. I actually try to stay away from it. I just try to do either different stuff in terms of structures, or like I said, I try to plug in things that I know are incredibly important and advantageous in terms of like efficiency from a physical standpoint, that just don't fit in to other days. So complexes being one of them. If anybody's been with us for a while, complexes typically always fall on full body days. They're perfect for the definition of a full body day, and they're just amazing in just so many different modalities and facets of physical fitness. So you guys love this complex here. For anybody that doesn't know what a complex is, 5 sets, 2-minute timer recovery. 1 set is 2 to 4 reps. If you don't understand that, let's just pretend you're doing 2 reps. You will do, a deadlift, a hang clean, a low row, a hang clean, and a finish with a push press. That is 1 rep. You'll then, without putting the weights down, do a 2nd rep. And then obviously if you want to make it far, more and more challenging, add layers to it. You can do 3 or 4 reps, and then obviously interchange your weights as you flip between sets. But ultimately, the long-term goal of complexes is often grip strength and your ability to transition between movements fluidly. So kind of like a neuromuscular efficiency type of approach. So a lot of people struggle with these, and time under tension really starts to add up because they're just not fluid in transitioning between exercises, which only it limits your ability to do 3 or 4 reps because it just takes you so long, but also limits your ability to use heavier weights because it takes you so long. So long-term goal would be to do as many reps with as much weight as you physically can, depending on what the complex is. And the beauty of complexes is I can manipulate them. Anybody can manipulate them, but you can manipulate them to not only just flow really smoothly and well, but to kind of target things that maybe we haven't targeted a lot in the prior days or the days upcoming, as obviously, I'm ahead on the workout. So complexes are neat. They're a little bit advanced and technical, but ultimately they're incredible. And 14 minutes is like a whole workout if you're doing these correctly. Following that, kind of like I just mentioned, a stopgap here, an opportunity to put in things that we haven't necessarily worked on. A little bit of volume here. So it's intervals. You are rowing. You can choose either 1,600 or 2,000 meters, just 1 minute on, 1 minute off. So no floor work. It just gives you guys, again, the opportunity to kind of open the floodgates a little bit, be as aggressive as you like to be. That doesn't mean you have to. You can approach it like a floor if you want to, and just however many rounds it takes you. So you're going to row for 1 minute, take an entire minute off. Everybody's obviously going to be on the same clock here, and you're just going to do as many rounds as it takes for you to get to one of those 2 distances, which, again, if you do the math, actually, it's a decent chunk of time. Like even if you're flying, like it's a fairly decent amount of time, which is good, and it goes really well to complex when we get to talk about grip strength, which is again just minor things I like to pin together when I'm writing these things. Core choice, the EMOM. We actually haven't done this at all in February, which is crazy. So like I've said in the past, I try to do this about twice a month to stay consistent with it. We just haven't had an opportunity where it fits in. So I really wanted to make sure I got that in. So again, full body day, like I said, perfect time to put that in. And then another thing that we just haven't really done is anytime with force aggression. So some level of force output, you guys generating some level of force via plyometrics. And again, anybody can do this. And there's also a regression to every type of plyometric that exists. So just because you guys see plyometrics and you're somebody that maybe can't jump or doesn't want to jump, there's always regressions to this. So don't let that concern you whatsoever. And then obviously we got the boxes that go all the way up to 30. And then there's a world where maybe we can pull out some of the youth stuff and we can get some boxes that go a little bit higher one of these days. I'm not going to promise it. I don't know who coaches on the 20th, but maybe we can figure that out. That'd be kind of cool.